We're going to send it up to the booth where Psycho and Hydro are waiting along here. So let's take it away. Psycho, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Rockerman. And what a spicy list of Player of the Weeks. Hats off to everybody that got Player of the Week. Congratulations on your hard work. Well-earned stuff. And as Rockerman said, we are heading into the Novice League where we have the currently number one seed, 10-2 Whelps, up against the currently number 3 seed Frost, sitting at 8-4. And I will be here doing some play-by-play action for you this evening. Your boy Psychonautic in the booth as usual, joined here tonight by a special friend of mine, the sub over at Venom in the Challenger League, also the AGM of Victory Org, and my commentator comrade Hydro. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good, Saga. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm ready after that long break to get back into some actual Rocket League here, some actual Nemesis action with some stuff on the line. The All-Stars was great. You know, the throwback matches and the showcase matches last Wednesday were a ton of fun, but ain't nothing like a good league match, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's good to get off to a spicy one here too. We got a top 3 battle going on here. Whelps coming in at that top seed, looking to hold that until playoffs and improve their chances to make it to the finals. And Frost looking to be on the come up. You know, winning this game is huge for them. If they can beat Whelps here, they increase their chances to possibly take that one slot away from them, which would make the Whelps 10-3. So I think that's what they're going to be looking to do over there at Frost. Icarus, Music, and Saint. Looks like a good lineup to me. Whelps have Jeff Masters, Grebsy, and Mr. Mariano. I think it's going to be a good matchup, Psycho.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a good matchup, though. I would like to point out, Music is a fairly new addition to Frost. I'm not sure about Saint. Saint might be a fairly new addition as well, but I'm pretty sure they picked up Music just over the weekend. So I don't know if these guys have played together previously or if they haven't, if they're going to be fresh on the field here tonight. But Music was actually, I believe, traded from Ignite, if I'm remembering correctly. So that ought to be interesting to see how Frost is able to deal with that. However, on the other side of the table, we got the Whelps, who you pointed out, and they've been the same roster the entire season. They haven't even had a 4th man on their roster the entire season. So these guys are serious. They're here to play. They got a 10-2 record. And I don't know, man, it's going to be a tough one for Frost here tonight, but I think that they definitely have what it takes to beat this Whelps team, but are they going to be able to do it? And with that, let me ask you, Hydro, of your caster prediction, do you think that Frost is going to be able to overcome this Whelps roster? Or do you think the Whelps are going to walk away with yet another win tonight?
I think I'm going to have to go with Whelps tonight. As you mentioned, they've been playing together since the beginning of the season, so I'm going to have to go with the chemistry there. Chemistry can play a lot into, rotations, double commits. So I'm really looking for this team to be well-rounded today.
And we will see if they are, or if Frost is going to be able to steal a W away from a Music, missing his touch there in the corner. Jeff Masters got plenty of time, gets it over Icarus in the midfield, 50s it through the last defender. This could be something for the Whelps here as Jeff Masters puts it out to the mid. Mr. Marino was there, but unable to get it through the defense. Saint making a huge save on the goal line there. And now with Frost trying to get some offensive pressure going, Saint trying to follow the ball, unable to get it. Jeff Masters going to get a demo on Icarus to clear the midfield. Jeff Masters was there, a little bit too far pushed up. Saint going to take the ball down, send it out to the mid with a little under a minute gone so far from the clock here. Hydro 0-0 scoreline at the moment. Both of these teams seemingly just filling each other out. Whelps only able to get 1 shot so far, but Frost was 0. But as I say it, Mr. Marino going to come through and start things off. Whelps now up by 1.
The caster curse never fails you, Psycho.
Never.
And I'm just gonna point out that off the rip, Whelps looked a lot more comfortable. Maybe Music being in the roster is throwing Frost off a little bit, but we're still seeing him settle in. It's only a minute and 10 seconds gone, so we're gonna see how it affects the rest of the game.
Yeah, I agree. They got plenty of time, Frost, to sort of get something else going here. Don't need to worry too much. However, I gotta say it's not ideal situation for them with Jeff Masters coming in to slam that one home, sends it across and gets the double touch off of the post.
And just not able to get a good clear from Frost there, and Jeff Masters finds the read off the post and is going to put in the second goal for Whelps, and that's not a really good start for Frost. You really don't want to go down 2 goals this early. Plenty of time still, like you said, but you want to start capitalizing and getting good clears and good counterattacks as soon as possible.
Yeah, now that they're down 2-0, they definitely going to have to do something. They need to start worrying a little bit here. As I was saying before, Jeff Masters scored that goal. Even with the 1 goal, Frost, if I was on Frost's team, I'd be a little bit weary to say the least, just because, the Whelps are overwhelming. They are known for being really super aggressive, so you don't want to let them have the upper hand really at any point during the series, and allowing them to get the first goal is going to allow them to apply the pressure they want to apply. It's going to allow them to control the pace of the match.
Yeah, and it looks like Whelps are just suffocating Frost right now on their own goal line. If they can just find a good shot opportunity, they can probably capitalize on this.
And that is exactly what they need to do, because most people at this point, at least in the novice league, know that one of the major weaknesses of the Whelps is they do tend to be a little bit over aggressive. They do tend to push up a little bit far in the midfield, and they tend to double commit sometimes, but sometimes it works out for him. Jeff Masters getting his second goal of the night.
And Jeff Masters was looking for a cheeky double here, but Saint's going to do the work for him and put it in his own net. And that's just mistakes like that are just not going to win you games, Psycho.
Yeah, that's just the novice moment inside of this whole situation. It lives in the soul of all novice. It even lives in the soul of me, and I'm a prospect, but I can't lie. I have novice moments all the time. But hey, at least I don't have them in the novice league on stream. Neither here nor there. Mr. Marino kicks the ball up. Whelps up by 3 at this point with 2 minutes left on the clock. Hydro, from the way the Whelps are playing, at least in this particular game, game 1 of this best of 5 series, I don't think Frost is going to be able to make a comeback. I think they obviously don't just give up, as Music is going to fake out the defender and actually shoot. I spoke too soon. There's a minute and 42 seconds left on the clock, and they're only down by 2 now.
And that's a good start for Frost. I mean, this is just what you got to do to mount the comeback now is, you want to get a quick one still. You kind of want to score before that minute mark, and then give yourself plenty of time to tie the game up and hopefully win this one in OT.
Yeah, and I would say Frost definitely need to look for a quick one. Music up for the double. Not going to find the touch. Saint putting a softball on. Mr. Marino forced to make the save. Icarus trying to sneak it past the defenders. Jeff Masters there to take it away. Jeff Masters gets the clear before he gets destroyed. Mr. Marino in the corner, trying to get it through. Icarus not allowing it. Jeff Masters gets the touch off the backboard. Jeff Masters goes for it again. Grebsy gets the touch, but it's not on net. Saint sends it away, but it's still dangerous. The double commit from Whelps, but Frost's not gonna be able to capitalize on a counterattack in that situation. 1 minute remaining now on the clock, and Hydro, they're running out of time. They're running out of time quick. They need to find a second goal fast.
Yeah, they're gonna need to find one within the next 30 seconds to make it even doable. Threes is just so much harder to score than any of the other game modes with the lack of space. And so I think if they don't find one here in the next 10-15 seconds, it's gonna be more than done with, I think.
Yeah, I think you're about right there. Not to throw anything away, 30 seconds is a lot of time in Rocket League, but this Whelps team, this Whelps roster has just been putting on an offensive barrage so far, and barely allowing Frost any offensive pressure. Even when Frost does start to generate a little bit, they get shut down pretty quick. And we see another double commit from Whelps, but not going to get punished for it yet again. Saint with the pop-up. Mr. Marino's there off the backboard. He finds the touch, makes the save. We are down to the last second, and that is sticking a fork in Frost. as it's pretty much done. The ball touches. Whelps are your winners in game number 1. This is a best-of-5 series, so they need 2 more wins to take the W away from Frost. But moving into game number 2, they do have the advantage.
Yeah, and I mean, Whelps came out early and got some good pressure. Towards the end of that game, Frost looked a whole lot better. I want to point out that Whelps only outshot Frost by 1 shot. But I think Frost kind of found their groove late in that game. You know, rotations started to look cleaner. Clears started, they started making better clears and making those counterattacks. And Music almost had a really good double there to make it 2-3 right after his first goal. So it's going to be interesting to see if Frost can bounce back here and tie this series up.
Right, and I think that they do. I think that they have what it takes. I don't know if maybe they were dealing with some nerves or if they're just trying to work through the growing pains of, Music's been on the team for a whole couple days. So it is what it is, And, even when you're practicing with the team, you're practicing casual, you practice in rank, and it's good. You get chemistry and stuff, but the whole feeling, maybe you agree here, Hydra, maybe you disagree, but to me, the whole feeling changes when you step into a league match. It's like the seriousness really starts to come out.
Oh yeah, and I honestly think that the gameplay is a lot smoother in these league matches. Even like ranked, your opponents aren't very comfortable with each other. You see a lot more, a lot better rotations in these league matches than you do in ranked. So you don't really have the same gaps that you would in a ranked game.
Right, I fully agree. And we're going to get right into game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, of this best-of-5 series. Whelps taking the W in game number 1, and they get the advantage in the series. Will Frost be able to make a comeback here and pick up game number 2, tie up the series, and moving into game number 3, make it an even playing field against this almost unstoppable Whelps roster? Music with the touch, putting it in the mid. Mr. Marino's up, but misses it. Nobody from Frost there to capitalize on the pass. Mr. Marino looking like he was going to touch it, but flips past the ball, almost causes the ball to get a slow roll into the net. But Frost able to pick up the pieces, get back on defense, get the ball at least back to the midfield. Jeff Masters with a shot on net all the way from the midfield. Not very threatening, but forcing a save out of Frost. With a minute gone here, Hydro, we're seeing a very, very similar game number 2 to game number 1, though Whelps are a little bit more aggressive out of this first minute than they were in game 1.
Yeah, they already have 2 shots, and we expected that. They're going to come out firing on all cylinders, keep those shots firing, and I think, I mean, they made some good saves. I don't think they were too threatening of shots, but Frost looking like they have a groove going right here, Psycho.
Yeah, they're definitely looking a little bit better. Mr. Marino with the unfortunate touch, touching it back into his own net. Frost taking the lead with 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
Good start for Frost now, and a little bit of calamity coming from Whelps there. I think that was 2 touches by their own team to put that one in the net. Not what you wanted to see out of Whelps, but they can definitely bounce back after that one.
Oh yeah, plenty of time for Whelps to bounce back, and we know that they are definitely capable. They just got to get that offensive pressure going. Jeff Masters with the long ball. Music's up for it, makes a good save. Mr. Marino with another awkward touch, goes back behind him. Nobody from his team there to touch it. Grebsy misses the ball in the midfield. Jeff Masters out of the corner of Frost, sticking with it, gets it across. Grebsy doesn't go for it, though. The ball gets sent out by Saint. Music with the touch, gets it past one of the defenders. Jeff Masters there, bangs the ball all the way back down to Frost. Jeff Masters coming in again, but immediately gets stuffed. Grebsy's up for this touch. The double commit comes out from the Whelps, but once again, Frost unable to mount any sort of counterattack there as we reach the midway point of game number 2. Music with a huge dunk, but Frost still holding the lead here, Hydra. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed that they've been able to hold this Whelps offense down.
Right, and in the last minute and a half, I think they've only held them to 1 shot. So, I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to cut those shots out early, as Icarus almost scores right there. It was a close one off the post, but like I said, I think you just have to keep these shots at bay from the Whelps, and really keep their attacking to a minimum.
You certainly don't want to allow the Whelps a lot of room to attack or a lot of time to set up an attack, because they will become very aggressive and they will eventually score on you, as their 10-2 record shows. Oh my goodness, Saint with an insane, at least for a novice, redirect there in front of the net.
Music really, I don't know if he was shooting or passing there. I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt, said that was a pass, and Saint buries it with a good redirect, bottom left, and that's some good light for Frost. If you're a Frost fan, you're pretty excited to see that one, Psycho.
Yeah, that was huge for Frost. Big insurance goal right there, and honestly, for the novice league, that was a massive clip in my opinion. You do not see that type of shot get pulled off very often this far down in the Nemesis league, but this is exactly what makes the novice league even slightly entertaining, is that you get to see stuff like that. You get to see glimpses of glory from some of these players. Unless Saint has changed his name, I don't think that he's very well known around here. I think he's kind of new. And if he has, Saint, if you did change your name from somebody, my fault, I don't know who you are. But much love. Great shot from them. A little over a minute left on the clock here, Hydro. Frost holding it down. I mean, got to give him credit, but Grebsy coming in to get one off the top of an awkward defender, cuts the lead of Frost in half with a minute left on the clock.
That was a really good touch by Mr. Mariano. It really made Music more awkward than he already was. And I think it was Grebsy buried it, and it's a good start if you want to get the comeback for Whelps. And if you're Frost, you really need to park the bus here. Make sure you don't get caught out. Keep your rotation smooth, and hopefully win this game.
Whelps got less than 60 seconds to try and get one more goal just to tie things up. They need 2 to take away the W in game number 2. Grebsy a little bit awkward, can't beat out Saint off the backboard of the Whelps. Jeff is there with the clearing touch. Music to keep the pressure alive for Frost, though. Mr. Marino with the awkward touch. Grebsy has to 50 with St. Jeff Masters, barely beats Icarus back to the ball, sending it back into the Whelps corner. Jeff Masters with a huge 50 in the mid, but Icarus takes it away from him. The final 15 seconds counting down. The Whelps need to get something now if they want to send game number 2 into overtime and possibly keep Frost from getting a W here tonight. Keep the dream of a sweep alive. 1 second left. Jeff Masters to keep it up. It's going to touch. Frost going to take game number 2. And I don't know about you, Hydro, but I love to see it. I love to see the content. Frost making the changes that they needed to make, taking that win off of the Whelps and showing the Whelps, hey, this isn't going to be an easy sweep for you. We got a lot of fight in us.
Yeah, and even though they won, Whelps did outshoot them, but I think Frost did a really good job of controlling the midfield in that game. Even though there were some shots on net, more shots on net by the Whelps, just because you shoot doesn't necessarily mean it's a good shot. Could be easily savable. It could just hit the post. Blah blah blah. But Frost, played really well there, and Saint leading the charge with 2 goals. That's huge for Frost, and that's a big momentum shift. And hopefully, if you're Frost, you can keep that going into the next one.
Yeah, they definitely want to keep that momentum going, especially against Whelps. They don't want to let Whelps get another foothold in this series. If I was Frost, I would be focused on, we need to just do exactly what we just did, keep them in the dirt, get the next 2 off of them, because I feel like this Whelps roster, once they get a foothold back in this series, they're just going to skyrocket off of it. They're just going to turn on the afterburners. They're going to bring out the most aggressive plays that they can, and they're going to suffocate Frost.
Oh yeah, and if you're Whelps, you just got to play your game. Just because you lost that one doesn't mean necessarily that you need to change anything. I don't think you need to change your play style up too much, because that's what's been working for you all season. So we'll see how it goes in this game number 3.
Yeah, we certainly will as we get directly into it. The series is now tied up. Game number 3 in the Coliseum. Let's see who comes out of this thing standing taller. Moving into game number 4, sitting at match point, will be the winner of this game. Jeff Masters with an awkward touch, trying to get back to it. The double commit from him and Grebsy, but they do get the ball cleared out. Icarus and Grebsy both missing the ball. Mr. Marino pops it up. Saints there off the backboard. Doesn't get the touch he's looking for as it's sent straight to Jeff Masters in the midfield. Jeff off the backboard. Grebsy's there. but he can't generate very much power on the ball. Saint send it up off of the sidewall. Mr. Marino gets a little piece of it. Jeff Masters with a huge shot going in for the double, beats out Music to the ball and gets the first point for Whelps. Game number 3.
Good speed coming out of Jeff Masters right there. It looked like Music and Icarus were both pushed up midfield a little bit too far. Probably just some comms errors right there, and you just gotta clean those up and hopefully not get caught out like that, because Jeff Masters and these Whelps will capitalize on those mistakes.
They certainly will, and now Whelps are sitting in the position that they wanted to be, with 1 goal above Frost, able to control more of the pace of this match. But they still got to be careful, especially on the double commits. They've been doing that quite a bit, and I've heard a lot of novice teams call them out on their double commits and try and sort of help each other out, if you will, as everybody seems to be trying to shut down this Whelps roster. But I've heard a lot of people saying, hey, they double commit a lot, they overcommit a lot. So really, if you've got a good team with a good counter attack mechanic, or if you have a team that's good at just banging the ball over your opponent, it's really not that hard of a team to beat, or so I've heard, Hydro. But I think that their 10-2 record says something a little different.
I mean, just because you can point out a mistake, every team has mistakes, and it's about who has the least of them, right? So I mean, if you're 10-2 and you've only lost two series throughout a 16-game season so far, it speaks volumes to what kind of team you are, I think.
I fully agree with that. And though I will admit that is, especially in this series, I've seen quite a few double commits coming out of the Whelps. But we got to take into a couple things into consideration. One, this is novice. This is just what they do. It's what some of them do. But two, at least one of them has a sound enough mind to rotate most of the time. They have a sound enough mind to get back, make the saves that they need to make, because there's no way that they've beaten a majority of the teams in novice just off of luck and sheer offense. I just don't believe it, Hydra.
I don't either. I think even novice, you have to be a well-rounded team to make a good run like this. I've seen my fair share of good novice teams when I played and when I didn't play in novice, and they all novice teams can be impressive, man, and I think they can surprise a lot of people. So even if they double commit, everybody has those flaws in their game, and it's about exploiting it. And if obviously teams haven't been exploiting that double commit flaw very well to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And we are seeing what you just described in real time, as Whelps still controlling this game number 3 with a minute and 40 seconds, now 35 seconds left on the clock. Frost, they've got 3 shots. They're technically beating out the Whelps here in shots, Hydro, which is the first time that they've been able to do that. But as you pointed out earlier in the series, it doesn't matter how many shots. You can have 90 shots if you want, but if you can't put one in, like Music just did, then what does all those shots do for you, aside from obviously that getting a goal?
Unfortunate 50 from Grebsy there. Music, just putting the big body on him. You love to see every now and again. It's nice to get one of those off for you, because most of the time they go in your net, not in their net. So I don't know. It wasn't purposeful, but we'll take those.
Yeah, you should take those. Anytime you hit the weight room and you see results, you got to take that result, even if it comes off of someone else's misfortune. I don't know if that made sense, but I hope. 55 seconds left on the clock now, and we have a tied ball game. Frost able to come through. Music making a huge play for his team there, which you love to see. I've seen a lot of people. Oh, Icarus with a huge read off the defender, just stealing it away and catching the defense of Frost sleeping. Or excuse me, Whelps.
Jeff Masters couldn't quite find the pass to clear it out to Grebsy there, and I think Mr. Mariano got caught looking for that corner boost, and no one back post for Whelps to save that ball being shot at their net by Music, I think it was. And 2-1 lead from Frost. If you're Whelps, that's not what you want right now, and Grebsy's gonna have an opportunity here, Psycho.
Oh, he did have an opportunity, but unfortunately he botched that opportunity. opportunity. Instead of sending it across, he brought it back and kind of messed up the offensive pressure there a little bit. And just before that, the Whelps had another dropped opportunity. The Whelps in this last 45 seconds really been putting on the pressure, but they just haven't been able to finish any of their plays. Saint, I thought he had a huge touch there that might have been going in, but the ball does get batted away. Knocked down. Frost taking game number 3, and I gotta admit, I'm a little bit surprised. I expected Whelps to take that one, especially after they scored the first goal.
Yeah, they went up early and held the lead for a while. Frost had most of the pressure this game, and that's impressive to say the least on this Whelps team. Usually, the Whelps are sitting in their opponent's half the whole game, but Frost played really well. And if you're Whelps, you might have to kind of back up and regroup here. Just take your time and you really think through what you're making on mistakes on defense, what you can be doing better on offense. Like we said, just because you're putting shots on net doesn't mean they're great shots, but the pressure's there, man, for Frost, and it looks like they're capitalizing on it.
Yeah, and I gotta say, if I was Whelps, I'd be a little bit worried right now because Frost, they lost game 1, won game 2, won game 3. But in my opinion, they've been gearing up this whole time. In game number 2, they had, I think, 5 shots throughout the whole thing. Game number 3, they've got 8 shots. Game number 4, who knows? They might have 10 or 11 shots. If the pattern continues, this Frost team was a little bit cold at first, but, well, I don't know what a good quip would be there because they're cold still because they're Frost. But they've been getting better and better is what I mean. As time goes on, they are getting better. And Saint with an immediate kickoff goal to lead things off for Frost.
A little wave dash kickoff to beat Grebsy and just put it bottom right. That's just not a good start if you're Whelps, and this is a little bit surprising right now. Whelps are going to be hard pressed to win this game if they're going to let goals up that easily.
And if Whelps isn't careful, they're about to get gentleman swept by Frost. And everybody, the Discord's kind of been buzzing. Once this Frost team kind of got put together a couple days ago, I saw a lot of buzz in the Discord saying, hey, better watch out. But the unfortunate touch right there coming out from Saint, giving Mr. Marino his first goal of this game and tying things up for Whelps.
Just a little out of position. I couldn't tell if he got bumped there or not. But he was sitting front post, I think turned around. If you clean up those rotations a little bit, that doesn't happen to you, but novice moment. We move past those, and Maestro Mariano going to put a good shot on. Music going to get a good clear. But yeah, I think Frost is going to put in another one. Icarus.
And a really good push from Music right there, sending that ball all the way into the Whelps corner. Icarus just beats out the defenders, finds an impossible angle that nobody on defense was expecting him to be able to find, puts it through, and gets not the insurance goal, but once again takes the lead for Frost, 2-1 in favor of Frost. Barely 30 seconds gone from this game so far. We're seeing a completely different game here as Music comes flying in and just slams that one home, getting that is the insurance goal for Frost with a beautiful pass from Icarus.
Yeah, that's a goal that'll make you a lot more comfortable going throughout this game. Music, gonna bury a really good one there, and a really high scoring game here, Psycho. Much different than the previous 3 games that we've had.
Yeah, 4 goals in the first minute. That's completely different from what we've seen, and another one's gonna come out. Saint, I didn't even see what happened. There was just a mess of novices in the air, and then someone scored.
Yeah, I mean Frost is trying to put the dagger in him early. This is very unnerving if you're a Whelps fan, and very unmotivating if you're on Whelps team right now. Going down 3 goals in a minute is not ideal, less than ideal. It's been crazy here, Psycho. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. But hey, it is what it is. I think Whelps kind of feel the same way. They're probably like, hold on, what's going on right now? Did we get hypnotized or something? Because this team is going off right now. This Frost team is just really turning it on. And I mean, with 60, oh my gosh, Saint with a huge pass and Icarus to find it. I mean, Whelps not even. I don't know what's going on. It looks like Jeff Masters up trying, but Grebsy just kind of looking at the ball. I think he expected Jeff to be able to get a touch there.
That was an impressive redirect by Icarus, especially for this novice league. You don't see many shots like that, and that was top bins, and it's gonna be tough for Whelps to make a comeback now. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, plenty of time, but you gotta get started here early.
Right, and this Frost roster is looking really decent at this point. I gotta say, I'm not sure. I didn't see I did see the details of the trade, but I don't remember the details of the trade that went down in between Frost and Ignite that gave Music over to Frost. Oh, Grebsy coming out of the back here, getting one for his own, stepping up, trying to put the Whelps on his back. He's getting he got the second goal for Whelps, but Whelps still down by 3. 3 minutes left on the clock though, Hydra. Plenty of time for the Whelps to come back, and we all know that they have the offensive prowess that can do that.
Yeah, they have the facilities for that. And we just gotta see them. We gotta see them step up early. We gotta see a quick goal here within the next minute to make it as easy as possible on them. But they need to get that pressure that they saw in games 1 and 2, and then hopefully mount this comeback.
Yeah, ideally for the Whelps, they want to see some back-to-back goals real quick, just to get them within 1 point of the lead. And we are halfway through this match now. Not halfway through this match, excuse me, halfway through the game number 4 in this best-of-5 match. Frost looking to take the gentleman's sweep here, as they still have a 3-point lead. But Whelps trying to gear up. Grebsy with the shot. Not going to get through Icarus to send that away. Mr. Marino coming over, keeping the pressure alive. Jeff Masters going to miss his touch. Saint to get it past 2 Whelps defenders. Gets it past 3. Music is there. He does a little styling, and he gets this easy goal.
Yeah, and Saint going to just flick it, or I think it was just a little pop over one of them, and then Music going to bury that one after doing some little spinny spins, Psycho.
Yeah, he just vibing with it right now. I dig this. I dig seeing that Music just out there feeling himself at this moment, and nobody on Frost yet with a hat trick, but all 3 of them sitting at 2 goals. So next goal for Frost is a hat trick. You love to see it. These guys are just absolutely killing it right now. They are seemingly unstoppable, which is pretty crazy against this 10-2 Whelps roster. Frost really making a name for themselves in the latter part of season number 7 here in Nemesis. The ball gets sent all the way back. Frost taking their time with it now. They know they have plenty of room here, Hydro. The only thing they got to do is pretty much just play smart defense, play keep away, not let the Whelps really generate any sort of offense. Mr. Marino trying to get a shot on net, but it goes wide.
Yeah, you just got to keep these rotations clean if you're Frost. Just don't give up quick goals, and hopefully if you do give up one, don't give up kickoff goals, because those will be the ones that will, blow this lead for you.
Most definitely, and they have huge amounts of insurance in this game right now. Saint getting it past the defense. Music is there, finds the pass. Nobody from Whelps back. It is now 7-2, and I hate to call it this early with 40 seconds left on the clock, Hydro, but I don't think it's possible.
It's over. And Music gonna pick up his hat trick. Filling the stat sheet this game with 3 goals, 2 assists, and 1 save. And I mean, this Frost team, especially this game, looking all around like just the better team.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, Whelps really came out and put on a good show in the first game, was able to get the dub away. They looked pretty solid. They made Frost look like they were a little bit shaky, but then game number 2, game number 3 just got better and better. And just like I was thinking, this game number 4, I mean, they've got 9 shots, so they didn't get any more shots, but they got 7 goals. So, they really just let the Whelps have it here in game number 4. And that just about does the ball. Literally just has to hit the hit the ground at this point for Frost to walk away with this gentleman's sweep. And Frost keeping it up. Icarus trying to get one for the road, but not going to get it. Falls off the top of his car. And your winners here in game number four, goes to Frost. Hats off to them. Great performance from them, putting the Whelps down in the dirt, giving the Whelps their third loss of the season, though it's not. They still got a long road to go before Whelps are dethroned, as the Whelps still, after this one, still technically have 5 games left in the regular season. So Whelps still very much able to keep their number 1 seed at this point, and probably, as long as they don't just drop the rest of their games, Hydra, probably going to stay in that number 1 spot.
Yeah, I mean, that drops the Whelps to 10-3 though, and brings Frost up to 9-4. So, it's going to be an interesting next few weeks for Novice. It's going to be a battle for that top seed, and whoever wins that top seed is going to make their playoff road just that much easier to get to that grand finals. So you definitely want to keep an eye out for that. And if you're Frost, I think you played incredible tonight. You take this momentum and you use that to finish out strong on this winding down season.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Looking good for Frost here tonight. I think that's going to be a pretty strong roster moving forward. I think we're going to, they're the number 3, projected to be the number 3 seed right now. And I wouldn't expect them to really drop down much, if anything, probably go up a little bit, especially if they keep playing like they were playing here tonight. That was a really good performance from them. And I mean, man, I don't know what else to say, but I got a lot of respect for that, because like I've heard that they haven't had a lot of time. Music came over to the roster just, I think, Saturday or Sunday this weekend. So that's pretty impressive that a team like that can take down a team like Whelps. I'm really interested to see what they're able to do with the rest of their season.
Yeah, and sometimes you're just missing that one piece to really complete your team, and maybe Music is that one piece they need to make their season what they want it to be, and hopefully make that grand finals appearance and dub that they want. I mean, it's a little early to talk about that now, but that Frost team is if they're beating Whelps pretty handily, that's a 3-1 victory over the top team in Novice. So you're looking pretty solid moving into playoff territory here.
Yeah, that was definitely the solid move. You love to see that from the Frost. But that is pretty much going to do us for our first match here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It was a great matchup. We're going to go to break here in a little minute, and whenever we come back from break, we're going to be going into the Prospect League, where we have the Prospect version of what we just saw, where we have Flurry versus the Wyverns. It's going to be, I think, a pretty good one. Both of these teams are sort of in the middle of the pack. Well, I think one of them sitting around the 13th seed. I think Flurry's sitting around the 13th seed, but their season's definitely not over yet. They still got a lot of 6 games left to try and make their way in, so they need to win some. They need some certain peoples to lose some, so they can find themselves in a play-in spot. But they definitely still in contention for that. Not out of the running yet. But that is going to be a good matchup. I think a lot to gain and lose for both of those teams there. And I just want to thank you, Hydro, for joining me in the booth. It was a pleasure casting next to you. This was a pretty good game for what it was worth. We didn't get a game 5 out of it, but saw a lot of good content and saw this new Frost roster looking pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of action. It was a pleasure casting with you, Psycho, as always. But yeah, we're gonna move into our Wyverns Flurry game, and it's gonna be a pretty interesting one for that one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a banger that you definitely don't want to miss. We're going to take a short break here. So if you need to use the bathroom, refill on some drinks or some snacks, anything like that, and we will be back to you roughly 8-ish minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, something like that. So stick around and we will see you shortly.